Hey everybody, welcome back to James Draws Everything. Today, continuing in our Drawing Every Country in the World's Flag series, and we're going into the subcontinent area in Asia, and this country is surrounded by India. Of course, we're talking about Bangladesh. Right, so Bangladesh is going to give me an opportunity to use this tool here, which I unfortunately did not have for my Japan or my Paolu video. So we're just gonna basically stencil what we need here for the Bangladesh circle that's in kind of in the center of the flag, but not really. It's a little bit off center. So okay, so there's that. And then just as I'm kind of gonna start working things up here, I'll give you a little history on Bangladesh. So it does start as a trade center in a few centuries ago. It's at the foot of the Ganges and the Brahmaputra rivers, so those kind of empty out into the ocean at that region. Various empires kind of have settled there over the centuries. It does become overtaken by Muslims in the 10th century, and to this day it does remain a majority Muslim country, vast majority, so about 91% of the people in Bangladesh are Muslim, whereas in India, you know, it's non-Muslim, it's Hindu majorities for the most part. And that does cause some issues later on in Bangladesh. So in kind of the 19th century, a little bit before that, the British do show up in India, you know, with the British East India Company. So they're in what's now known as Bangladesh as well. They partition India in 1947. And the country of Pakistan, you know, is kind of part of that partition. So Pakistan becomes a country. Bangladesh is known as East Pakistan, and the British, you know, when they're doing this partition, the British actually did this quite a bit throughout history. They're relocating massive amounts of people. Right, so they do this in the Middle East. They did this in Australia. They did this a lot in the British Empire. And you kind of have some tensions after this point between East Pakistan and West Pakistan. West Pakistan is basically just what modern Pakistan is. And these two Pakistans actually go to war during that time. The Awami League is formed in East Pakistan, and it's supported by India. Again, there's a lot of casualties in this war. There is a mass genocide of those people, so it's kind of a tough period in history there for Bangladesh. And they win full independence in 1971. Country isn't exactly stable over the next few decades. They have several coups d'etats going all the way through the 1990s. And in recent years, you know, Bangladesh kind of becomes a big hub of textile production. And of course, a lot of controversy surrounds that. You know, sweatshops, child labor, all that is prevalent in Bangladesh, but they do have a rapidly growing economy, and they're experiencing like around 6.25% growth every year, and you know, they're on developing countries kind of list, like through the United Nations, as far as like the fastest growing economies, and countries that are kind of improving as far as you know, their Human Development Index score. I believe they're on the list to graduate from a developing country to a developed country. I think they're going to take a look at that in 2026. So a couple years from now, we'll see where Bangladesh falls on that. And the flag, so again, it looks a lot like the Japanese flag, right, and the Palau flag. So the red is the rising sun, and the blood red, and that means sacrifice and independence. Okay, and then the green in Bangladesh, that means the vegetation of the land. All right, so very simple flag, a lot like Japan's, just kind of off kilter a little bit. It is kind of weird that it's just not really centered right there, so makes it stand out a little bit. But you know, so let's just write that in there. That is Bangladesh. Bangladesh, the Bengal people that live there. So let's just clean this up a little bit. We'll get rid of our pencil lines, and then I'll give you a little bit of bonus content, because I know we talked about the textile industry in Bangladesh. So let's just draw some people maybe making the Bangladesh flag here. All right, so I'll just bust out one of my pens. And I think pretty much like almost any kind of clothing in the world that you look at these days carries that tag. You know, if it's not made in China, it's probably made in Bangladesh. You know, so if you are against, you know, the kind of labor and stuff, you know, that they use there, child labor, you can vote with your wallet. You know, not purchase things from there. But I know that it does get harder and harder, you know, the more and more things kind of move out of the United States. You can't really buy stuff that's made here anymore. So it's, you know, all that kind of stuff is outsourced to that part of the world, where unfortunately they do still have those types of labor practices. So, all right, we have a textile worker here unfolding the Bangladesh flag. Alright, so let's just give a little put a little sewing machine over here. Okay, and then we have this fabric laid out on a table. And then let me just get some of my colors here and work something out. Okay, so we'll say that they're working on the Bangladesh flag. So as you can see, it's all kind of folded up right now. So that red dot, that red sun, is kind of wrinkled a little bit. And then we'll do the greens. Okay. Now we're just going to kind of draw. Let's our textile worker here. Not too much to say about the Bangladesh textile industry. That won't get me in a lot of trouble, unfortunately. Keeping the jokes to a minimum today, guys, because this stuff isn't funny, I guess. They do still practice that in this part of the world, and yeah, I do think it's kind of ridiculous that we still rely on companies to do this. Because we basically gutted all of our own manufacturing. We could be making textiles and stuff like that here. There's no reason why we don't, except for just purely economic reasons. Of our own. I don't frame things like, oh, there's too much greed or anything like that. I'm not a Marxist. It's just a lot of this stuff is just done, kind of on purpose, purposely kind of gutting our industries here, making it impossible for people to do work like that in the United States. So, yeah, we used to have systems in place that, protected American industry. In the original republic here in America, you used to, all of your tax revenue came from protectionism, aka tariffs, right? So, free market types will argue against that and say that, well, you get cheaper stuff, and it's like, well, there's trade-offs for that too. So it's not just it's not just all about cost and things like that. Because you actually increase costs in a lot of other ways when you completely gut your own country's ability to produce, and that's a whole nother topic. But that's a whole nother research paper that I don't really feel like discussing at this particular point in time. Yeah, again, sorry, a little bit of a somber episode today, but yeah. All right, so we'll just draw like some threads kind of going through here. You can see the green, like where they kind of sewed that in. Alright, so just sketch a little bit more of a background here. Take a look at the back of your shirt right now. The tag on it, what does it say? Does it say Bangladesh? Probably. Made in Bangladesh. Your shoes, almost anything. And there it is. So we got the Bangladesh textile factory. There's the flag of Bangladesh. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you on the next video.